Yes, sir.
From the day I got on this council, I've been advised, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. So come back to Councilman Johnson's statement about not having heard anything from anybody. That's the reason I haven't said anything to you, because I was told I couldn't. And I've been told by the city attorney tonight, and previously as well, that we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do this. You know, I was even to the point where, geez, can we even talk to each other and say hello if we're in a restaurant? And, you know, if I'm in a restaurant with Butch Ramick to have coffee, and then in comes two other council people, and we're in the same restaurant, oh, we're having a forum. It's just absolutely ludicrous.
Any further comment? Councilwoman.
I would just say again, I hope that whatever these issues are with passing this budget are addressed with the mayor's office sooner than later if there's concern. We did have an opportunity last night to express any concerns with it that maybe even could have been addressed tonight.
What I would ask going forward, to be absolutely clear amongst ourselves as council members within a public forum, is to put in writing what you're looking for. And that way, we're all very clear about what each other's positions are. But we do it in a public meeting, and we say what we feel, and feel what we say in that public meeting. That's where we should be having those discussions. Under, you know, the full sun and viewpoint of the people. So, don't need to go back in terms of what got us here. What we do need as a council to say, when are we going to meet next? And that there was a point earlier, whether or not it's a special study session or a special meeting, and we can study during a meeting, but we can't vote during a study session. So I think that is where we're at right now. What do we do? And how do we go forward? And when are we going to meet next? We could do it tonight, quite honestly, but I don't think that people are prepared for that. Probably all of our blood sugars are going to drop, and I'm going to run out of Coca-Cola. So the caffeine is going to drop. So, in all seriousness, we want to talk as a council. When are we going to get back together? Mr. Mayor.
Through the chair, that's the one thing that I want to convey. I think you guys have to come together as council before you involve my office again, because I don't want to have to try to track everybody down and see if they're all in agreement to something that one person or maybe two people might be over for and five others might be opposed. So that's why I think, you know, come together as a census amongst council and then, you know, relay it to the mayor's office.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Becerra.
Am I allowed to speak?
You are.
I was going to say the same thing. I've heard a few comments about, you know, take it up with the mayor, take it up with Jason. We want to work with you, but don't take it up with us. We're not going to play gopher for all of you and say, gee, Mr. Slavin wants this, I'm going to check with Ms. Rose. That's not what we're here for. That's not what Mr. Couture can do. He's not going to be your gopher for you. We got a good budget. You guys got complaints? Figure it out and bring it back to us, but don't waste his time or don't waste his time. I agree with Mr. Geich. You guys need to get together. You need to figure it out. You need to have a final solution. We're willing to work with you, but we're not going to be gophers for you. Thank you.
Councilwoman.
I had also asked for some information from the CFO, and I was hoping to get a couple more of the things that I requested. I know I requested several, but if I could get at least a couple of the lists, I think I can piece together with what you've already given me some of my things, so I was going to send you an email about that tonight with what I have. Thank you.
Councilman Johnson.
Can we go ahead and set a date of the 26th? That gives us a week. And we can trash it all right here and vote for it.
What I would suggest is that we need to split it into a study session and then a formal meeting, because if it is done as a meeting, then I'm going to have to pass a gavel, because I certainly want, and I don't know that anybody's going to be able to take the gavel. So if we want to have a 26th. And then we can determine from that point when we would set the final approval. The 6 o'clock special study session on Tuesday, the 26th of April at 6 o'clock in the council study chambers.
I have a conflict, but I'll change it.
Well, and to be absolutely honest, there is no requirement for any council member to be at a study session. Councilwoman Brandon.
I would suggest that we just have another meeting and do it all at the same time, as Mr. Johnson suggested, not a study session. I think we've had our study sessions. I think we could talk about it beforehand and present what we...
Chair, could be a study session and then go right into the council meeting?
How do we do that posting? Because
You could post it that way. I've been looking at it from a practical standpoint, though. I don't see how you can bring those changes to the budget forward and then get consensus to approve a whole budget at the same meeting. I think the administration is going to have time to look at what the council suggests and make those changes in the budget if the administration so chooses to do that.
I personally would like to have the meeting on the 6th be discussion, comes to a, we'd have to take votes to give firm direction, right? It can't be all, that's fine. We'll set the meeting as a regular meeting for September 26th. We can take votes. Oh, yeah, we're on Coca-Cola.
We'll be a little past date.
I'm already into the fall. April 26th.
And if we need another, we can do it, the next day or the next day, if we need a second.
Well, just within the limitations of the Open Meetings Act, more than likely, if we've not finalized on the 26th, I would say keep the 28th available. And if we don't do it on the 28th, we're going to have a busy Saturday on the 30th.
Through the chair, I just want to point out too, the 27th, there is a zoning
Yeah, that's
meeting.
right. We're trying to skip around
And then
the Wednesdays.
The 28th, there is already scheduled election inspector training as well.
At what time?
6 p.m. in here.
All right, we would have to take that into account and potentially have training moved on the 28th.
I have the election inspectors we have coming.
We may not have to though, right?
Well, let's at this point set the time set April 26th. April, not September. 26th, 2022 at 6 p.m. as a special council meeting. Agreeable? And actually, let's make that formal. If there is a motion, we'll entertain that.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Ramick, supported by Councilwoman Brandana to set April 26, 2022 at 6 p.m. for a special council meeting to discuss